gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the MX5 round 3 of Ohio. It's not very good. It's not the worst. Just kind of mid. I am very attractive, and with me, as always, is your boy, the Andy Van Slyke of Brocky and Ultra Cricket, Michael Magus.
Ooh. I'm actually kind of wondering now. Now, I've never actually looked up where mid-Ohio is in Ohio. Is it very mid?
Well, I mean, Ohio in general is kind of mid.
Let's
Be
see
sure
here.
to scan the QR code and
Google,
harden up your compounds.
going over to Google Maps. I've got the Mid-Ohio race course here. Where is the lake? Apparently there's a lake in the middle of this track. I don't think I've ever noticed it. I'm a little
Well, I mean,
puzzled.
you're not driving through the middle.
No. It's not particularly close to it. As for is it mid? It's pretty mid. It's like north mid, but it's pretty mid.
But is it Ohio of Miami?
It is basically north of Columbus and a little bit to the southwest of Akron. If that helps anybody out, or the southwest of Cleveland. I guess you could also.
Cleveland.
But it is like halfway between Toledo and Cleveland, but quite a bit further south, away from Lincoln. So there you go.
Holy Toledo.
Your geography lesson for the day. Hey, look! Our names are on the screen.
Correct.
Qualifying efforts have been completed, and Tobias Thierolf will start from pole position here for the 15-minute short race. Antonio Costa will join him on the front row with Max Simmons. Dennis Johnson, my newest follower on Twitch, actually. Thank you, Dennis. Leandro Carroll, Lazy Passe. Martin Edmonds, Bertrand Barre, Javier Vega, Serge Hendricks, Magic Castruck, Henrik Andreessen, your boy, Mauricio Delgado in 13th place.
See.
Scott Nick, your other boy.
See.
Vic Vega, Jeb Sparks, Jeremy Reeder, Steve Davidson, Taka Mariuka, Kevin Schmidtke, Andy Foster, Jeff Rupp. Jeff Rupp is a new name. I don't recall him. And Ken Scott. That's your 23-car qualifying field. Now, of course, we may have some more people who didn't qualify. By the way, I don't think we have seen that orange and black and green car. And I like it. I like it a lot. That one right there. I like it. That's a cool livery. That's Jeff Rupp.
That's the guy who's been asking me weird questions on Discord.
Oh, okay.
He's new. I can't remember his nickname is Shadow Quinn or something like that.
Gotcha.
And asked me, well, didn't specifically ask me, but asked if it was cool if he shared the link to the Discord with other people because they might want to race. And I'm like, yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the more racers we get, the less racing I have to do.
The more races we have, the bigger the fields, and the more interesting things get.
And it will be, as the French say, incroyable.
I realized I still had OBS open, so it was recording us in video as well as audio.
And as BJ Penn would say, check out my obs.
Check out my obs, Andy.
Take him down, Andy.
Take him down, Andy. Welcome to the MMA, random thoughts hour.
If you don't understand that reference, that's perfectly fine.
That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. You're a normal, well-adjusted human being if you don't get that reference. If you do, join the club.
Do we have a club?
Fighting Sports Degenerates Incorporated.
Unanimous.
That's our club. We are horrible gambling degenerates and maladjusted human beings.
Mia will bet every Dogecoin he owns every week.
Well, that'd be really easy because I own 0 Dogecoin.
Don't lie to the people.
I just stay the hell away from crypto.
What? But it's the most stable.
Don't.
Least corrupt.
Don't lie to the
people. Crypto gaming is the future of gaming, so that you can.
Don't lie to the people.
You can have games that are good.
Anyways, we're here at Mid-Ohio for the third round of the MX5 championship here. 2 races today, one 15-minute one and then a reverse grid race, which will be 30 minutes long. It's interesting that our reverse grid is the longer and higher points paying race. That's a bit of a weird one. I'm not. Forgive me for saying it, but I kind of wonder if Martin thought that one through. All the way. But it is what we have here. So far, we're coming off Autodrom Most, which was won by Tobias Thierolf, and the doubleheader at Watkins Glen, which was won by Dylan DaCosta, who appears not to be here again, and Andrew D, who also appears not to be here today, which is a shame.
That makes me disappointed.
Indeed, because we find Andrew D delightful, and also he usually gives us that nice overlay, which gives us more information, and we don't have that this time. So that's a little bit of a shame. Other podium finishers through the 2 rounds have been Thierolf. Pardon me. I said Thierolf won at Most. He also had a podium at Watkins Glen. Antonio Costa's got a pair of podiums to his name as well. Also, Leandro Caro, Laissez Passer has been to the podium, as well as Dennis Johnson. And that's about it. That rounds everybody off. So onwards and outwards we go. I actually really do like Mid-Ohio. This has been a place where I've actually had some good results. Although there was a period of time when the pit lane didn't work. So hopefully that's not the case anymore. It would give you a penalty for going in the pits. So anyways, we are off. Tobias Thierolf in the white car leading the way. Antonio Costa in the black and green is in second place. We're focusing on him right now. Max Simmons in the background going side by side with Dennis Johnson, and Johnson getting the better of it. At least moving into third place for the time being. A little bit of contact. One of the yellow submarines, Laissez Passer, getting physical there. And we do have at least one person who didn't qualify because we have 24 cars listed in the field. I'm not sure. Adam Komorowski, I think, is the one, and he's actually flying up the field into 18th place. I think he was the one that did not qualify, and he's doing really, really well there, battling with the likes of Steve Davidson. And yep, there it is, confirmation. He's up 6 spots. That's impressive. That's very impressive. Andy Foster, the big loser on the early lap here, down 3 spots. Thierolf leading the way from Costa, Johnson, Simmons, Carroll, Edmonds, Passet, Barrier, Kazchuk, and Andreasen, your top 10. Bit weird seeing Henrik Andreasen so far down the order. We're used to seeing him a little bit towards the sharp end. But of course, this series has locked setups, which means everybody has the default game setup for their car, as that is Taka Maruka off track. So anyone whose speed was produced via technical proficiency and practice and trial and error with the setup doesn't have that advantage here. This is really testing just the kind of natural feel for the car that these drivers have, and that can produce some interesting results.
I'd just like to say that you should talk about a bad turn onto the grass, but it's too late for that.
Leandro Carroll in 5th place, trying to find his way past Maximum Simmons.
I can guarantee you that Max Simmons won't even try and pit on this race.
Jeff Rupp is off the track. You see the yellow box beside his name. That is indicative of him causing a yellow flag. So a little bit of an off run, but he seems to be running again. Javier Vega opening up the stewarding track cut penalties. And there is Laissez Passer as he trails Martin Edmonds for 6th place. Serge Hendricks tumbling down the order. There he is in the sword car. What happened to him there?
He did.
He is dropped out of the top 10 as a result of whatever it was. Our fearless leader, Martin Edmonds, in 6th place.
I actually like that livery. It's weirdly understated, and I
What,
dig it.
the Dennis Johnson's livery there in the white?
No, fool.
Martin's.
Yeah.
I think a lot of them are actually quite good. There's a lot of good MX5 liveries, which is
You're just all about the white
plus
car.
it isn't. No, it's probably my least favorite. I like Costa's livery there because I like that black and green combination. Very simple, very classic, but gets the job done. I like Max Simmons' livery, the red and white yellow there. It's pretty cool. I like the yellow submarine livery that a couple of people got as well. Like I said, I liked Rupp's livery. And he's not here today, but James Butler's livery I was a big fan of. I haven't seen anybody else running it, so if I do see someone, I will point it out.
Oh, I kind of take that back. Dennis Johnson rocking the 8-bit. I didn't
The
see
8-bit
slogan
livery.
outside.
Yeah, that's
I
nice.
appreciate the 8-bit, but why does it have to just be plain white?
Yeah, it's a little bit weak. I do like the U.S. Army car. Get a couple of those. Imagine Cash Schikane was running around in that car. It's quite nice. The sword livery that we saw on Serge Hendricks, also very appealing.
Sword, yeah. By stereo already leading by 14 laps.
Not so much that, but he is. Oh,
Yeah.
loss of control there for Max Simmons, and he slams into the wall. That is a big deal. Laissez-passer on the attack against Martin Edmonds, and he's not only going to pick up a spot on Simmons, but possibly on Edmonds as well. Oh Lord! Somebody flying off in the background. That's Martin Edmonds
Hammers.
in the wall. What the hell happened there?
He's drunk.
I also like the Thunder Rabbit livery that Vic Vega is sporting.
I think that might be cheating. I don't want to put too fine a point on that, but
well, admittedly, he also did a barrel roll, so I feel like Martin's car may. I don't think his cheating is going to overly matter at this point.
In for the penny, in for the poutine. Might as well push that to get the track limit slowed down. Why not use all the track limit?
With some odd moments, I would say. Theorolf, Costa, Johnson unmoved. Carroll's up to 4th place. Passe up to 5th. Barrier to 6th. Kazchuk to 7th. Andreasen. And then Vega and Delgado now in the top 10. Komorowski, by the way, continues his charge. He's up to 15th place, having started dead last. Also, shout out to Ken Scott. If you recall, at Most, he had a lot of problems. He had an adventurous day that ended up getting him a penalty and stuff, and he had a rough round. And he's out there in 20th place right now. That doesn't sound great or anything, but it means he's mixing it up with people. He's keeping it up, and I appreciate the improvements he appears to have made in his ability to handle this Mazda MX5 car. Although he does lose a spot to Taka, as I am talking him up a little bit big style.
Racer of the race, Mauricio Delgado up 3 spots.
Indeed, largely from other people having mistakes, if we're being completely honest.
Captain consistency.
Your big climber is the +9 for Komorowski. Your big faller is
Maximum Simulators.
Who's down 16 spots to 19th.
Simmons.
Hendricks overtaking Steve Davidson for 17th off camera. Martin Edmonds getting a slow down penalty. Slow down and take it easy.
I need a driver with a slow hand.
Nope. Schmidtke off track.
Schmidtke travel. Looks like John's having a bit of a rough time of it.
Up on the back there is Passe, putting a lot of pressure on Carroll. Theorol still in the lead. That gap is actually not really any bigger. It's still about 2 seconds. Wonder if he's just got it in cruise mode. Of course.
Crude mode.
Of course,
Oh,
we'll
wait,
have
I
the
have crude mode.
next week. We'll have the interesting deal of trying to re-sign Tobias Thirolf in Super Mega Baseball action. His player declared for free agency as Johnson and Costa going side by side for second place.
As Tobias's lawyer, I would appraise him not to sign for anything less than $50 million.
Well, he's not getting $50 million. I'm just saying that right now. As that will be a spot for Dennis Johnson up into second place, overtaking Antonio Costa. Actually, between races, I'll pull up the salary guide and we can see how much Mr. Thirol should actually make.
$19.2 million.
I think it's gonna be something like $8 or $9 million. That's my thought. By the way, in the background there, Passe overtaking Leandro Carroll. No, Jeremy Reeder.
Looks like
he might have got a little push there into a spin. I didn't catch who was on his tail, but whoever it is may have gotten away with it. We'll see.
If it wasn't for those dastardly kids and that dog.
Or that may end up before the stewards. I'll tell you later this week on the stewarding report. Which I will be doing with ESR head steward Silent Jack.
Il Silente.
Il Silento is what I call him.
AKA Yappy Jack. Because it's ironic.
Oh, he's quite yappy in person, but like he likes to talk to you when he can, also show you off his biceps and triceps. And if you make fun of his voice, he can, remove your head from your body.
You know what you should do during the stewarding reports with Jack is just routinely tell Jack to shut up, and then come off like you're schizophrenic.
I think I already do because I talk to him in the stewarding videos because he is talking. It's just I have a SteelSeries headset, and you can switch. You can create two different audio tracks: one for the Discord, and one for TeamSpeak, and one for the game. And I just don't record the Discord track. So he is talking, and periodically I will have one-sided conversations while recording the stewarding reports. So I already appear like a schizophrenic to most people.
Ladies and gentlemen, the race game's Al Snow. What does everybody want?
Al Snow or Perry Saturn, I guess. Both gimmicks would
That's
apply.
true. There was the Moppy episode. I wasn't a fan of that. I wanted Perry Saturn to just be totally badass.
I was fine with it, but I would have preferred, like a serious run for Perry Saturn. Because Perry Saturn for a big guy was fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Like, I really appreciated his run in WCW when he had a break from Raven's flock, and he and Raven had the brief feud. And he just routinely put Raven through tables in the most coolest way possible.
Indeed. Further back, we have Kazchuk versus Andreasen heating up for 7th place there. And the car right behind them is Javier Vega, and behind Vega is your boy, Mauricio Delgado. Oh no, Kazchuk off track. And that's gonna put Andreasen up above him, if nobody else.
Get him, Mauricio, go!
So time running down here. It is surprisingly still only about a little over 2 seconds for Thirol, so I think he is really just kind of pacing himself.
Theoretically.
I could be mistaken, but it is not his normal run away with it that we're frankly kind of used to.
I just realized that his last name is actually spelled Verolf.
Mm-hmm.
I, for some reason or other, never even questioned it, didn't look at it too closely. I bet you have been mispronouncing it the whole time.
Probably, but like I've asked him, and he says, no, you guys are doing fine. So,
all right, fair enough.
Either he appreciates us mispronouncing his name, or we got it. Rupp is off the track again. There he is. He's getting lapped.
Jeff, you're having a Rupp time.
Jeff's having a Rupp time, yeah.
It's off in the Rupp.
But he's out there having fun, and that's at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
He hit the golf ball that go boing low and off the green into the Rupp.
Actually, I feel like in racing news, we have to give a shout out to to RC, who is our loyal one of our loyal viewers here. She recently took her first ever endurance race victory.
Ooh, nice.
So there we go. Not a class win, like an overall win.
It means that the physio is working.
Mm-hmm. It's good to see her racing again after her real life car accident, and she's doing good. Costa going side by side with Dennis Johnson. Now I just need to heal up so that we can get back to sharing the same car again.
I myself have quietly retired from competitive racing due to my injuries.
Indeed. Three-way fight for second place going on here. Laissez-Passer getting in on it with Dennis Johnson and Antonio Costa. Costa's got the inside line here, heading towards Thunder Beach, or China Beach, pardon me. And looks like, yep, he does have it. So Johnson held off, or loses that spot for now. Javier Vega has lost 9th place to Mauricio Delgado. That happened off camera. He is inclined to get it back in the Battle of Spain versus Chile.
Let's see.
By the way, I mean, Adam Komorowski out there, exemplifying the can-do nature of sim racing. Dude did not qualify. Probably arrived late. Probably had some kind of setback that caused that to happen. And he's up to 14th place. He's up 10 spots. Off track. Oh no! Hendricks again! Hendricks and Komorowski getting into it. Laissez-Passer and Dennis Johnson also got into it. Johnson ended up off track, and there is Komorowski limping back on.
The Hendrick, he surged off the track to the wrong side, low.
Indeed. There is Hendricks going very, very slowly, so looks like he may have allowed Komorowski on ahead of him. So we didn't see what happened, but there was clearly contact between those two cars. And Laissez-Passer also getting, Dennis Johnson getting dumped towards the back. So Thierolf leads the way. Costa second. Passet is now on the podium with Leandro Carroll, Bertrand Barrier. Dennis Johnson is in 6th place. And then it is Andreasen, Kazchuk, Delgado, and Vega, your top 10. Scott Nick, 11th place. He's having a good day. Vega and Jeb Sparks, Martin Edmonds, Max Simmons, Steve Davidson, Adam Komorowski, Jeremy Reeder, Serge Hendricks, Takamaru Yuka, Ken Scott having a good day. And then it is Foster, Schmidtke, and Rupp.
Schmidtke travel.
Man, Andy Foster's been nowhere today. I'm used to Andy Foster being pretty solidly midfield. He's down in 22nd place. Just hasn't seemed to have any synergy with this track as they head through the carousel for the final time. Tobias Thierolf will take the checkered flag for the second time this season, adding to his Most victory. And joining him on the podium will be Antonio Costa and Laissez-Passer. And we should have a top 10 reverse grid, which I believe means Javier Vega will start on the front row with Mauricio Delgado. That could be interesting.
Sí. Muy picante.
Pick up Kevin Schmidtke, who has lost a spot to Andy Foster, but is looking to try and get that back. And they are on the tail of Ken Scott. I think Ken Scott's got a new livery today. I don't recall him having that kind of gunmetal gray car previously. So, new livery, new Ken Scott, maybe? As Schmidtke gets, or pardon me, not Schmidtke, Foster gets side by side with him into the carousel. But he'll hang on. He'll hang on. Kevin, maybe I spoke too soon. Oh, I did speak too soon. Into the wall. No. Schmidtke gets Foster at the line, too. So Schmidtke gets both of them. Wow. Nice moves. Thierolf, your winner from Costa, Passet, Carroll, Barrier, Johnson, Andreasen, Kazchuk, Delgado, and Vega. Like I said, I think Vega and Delgado start on the front row for race number 2. Scott Nick, Vic Vega, Jeb Sparks, Martin Edmonds, Max Simmons having a very, very disappointing race. Steve Davidson, Adam Komorowski, Serge Hendricks, Jeremy Reeder, Takamaru. By the way, 100% finishing rate. Everybody who started did finish.
Would like to point out that Tobias finished the race in 15 minutes and 57 seconds, which is way faster than the 16-minute time limit.
Well, it's actually a 15-minute race, but the deal in a time race is if you
Shut up. I know everybody knows. Shut up.
I'm making sure. Not everybody necessarily knows.
Everybody knows.
Not necessarily.
All right, continue.
There's actually a stunning number of non-actual racing fans in the sim racing community. It's a little bit weird, honestly, to me. But anyways. By the way, this Z1 analyzer ad that they keep running, I'm actually kind of interested in this whole thing.
Is that like a breathalyzer thing? So you can't
It
sim race
appears
if
to
you're
be.
drunk?
It appears to be some kind of add-on for your to help figure out where you're losing time, which is kind of interesting.
I think
Sort of
it's
like
a
a coaching.
breathalyzer. It's a breathalyzer to make sure you take.
Well, some of us would fail that at all times.
I don't know what you're talking about.
By the way, so I said Tobias would get like 8 or 9 million. Apparently, I'm right because I'm looking at the price guide I have for Super Mega Baseball free agents.
The price gouge.
And for Tobias's age and position and overall rating, he's in the 7.2 to $9 million bracket. So
There you go.
So that's probably what he's going to make.
You get a 7.1, you get this deal.
And I think he's making 6.5 or so. So he's in for a pay rise.
What about me? What about Kane?
You didn't declare free agency, and believe me, I am dreading the day that you do because right now you're at the 11 million to 13.5 million.
You're just gonna restart the league at that point.
I mean, I don't know. I'll if I lose you in free agency, I'll try, but it's gonna leave a big hole in the lineup for someone to try and fill.
Yep. Just looking for that payday at the end of my career. Go off and be a total shitbird on some mediocre team.
I mean, we've already established that Martin already pulled that in his 20s by leaving the team to become a backup catcher for $9.5 million. Those who don't know what I'm talking about, we're just killing time here before the warm-up. I do a Super Mega Baseball Twitch stream, which if you're not interested in, you're not interested in. That's cool. But you might want to give it a try out. I do post it in the ESR Discord. So
everybody who's shown up so far has been interested.
Mm-hmm. And if you watch the stream, you get a player. It's kind of the deal. Correct. In fact, even if you don't watch the stream, you can still get a player. It's just, it'll be a lower priority player. Well, Craig, for example, has stated that he would like a player, but he's not going to watch the stream. But I'm okay with having Craig be on another team so I could try and beam him in the head with a ball.
I was going to propose that you select a random team and we just rename everything HP Lovecraft stuff.
I mean, the Krakens seem like the obvious answer.
Yeah, pretty much. We just rename them the Cthulhus and then just give everybody random either character names or elder god names, like Dave Nyarlathotep. And and then it'd be really, really easy to track where they end up randomly on different teams throughout the league if they get dropped or free agents or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be an interesting experiment. Also, HP Lovecraft's pretty fun.
Sure. You know what I didn't think to do actually on the last episode of the championship? I didn't think to look if Nat or Martin or Toby declared for free agency.
Oh. Well, I think you would have noticed.
Try to get them. They probably didn't because I think I would have noticed them, but I wasn't looking, so it's possible to get either any of those three back for a second run with the team. Anyways, grid is forming up here, and we'll find out if I'm right on the number of reverse grid. I don't think I am because there's a US Army card near the front, so maybe it goes a little bit further.
This is a top 97 reverse grid.
Well, you can't do that because you can't get 97 cars into the server.
Not with that attitude.
RaceRoom is limited to 50 cars.
Sounds limiting.
No, I think that is Vega at the front and Delgado. So I think I'm right. I think I'm right. We'll know based on where Thirol starts. If he starts 10th, then it was, top 10. Also free agents this upcoming offseason, Adam David Brosh and Koji Fukudome. I'm not re-signing Adam. It is top 10. Vega on pole, Delgado, Kaschuk, Andreasen, Johnson, your top 5. Here we go. Dennis Johnson might be the guy to look for. He was competing for second place and fell down the offer at the end. But of course, Byron is cheering for Mauricio Delgado, who is in the yellow and black car in second place behind Javier Vega. Kaschuk third, Andreasen. Oh Lord, big spin. Max Simmons again? No! 2 races in a row for Max. That's heartbreaking.
I would also be cheering for Scott Nick, but he started 11th, and you know.
He's still in 11th.
Yeah, which is good. But I don't think he's going to be moving up.
Oh, he's fighting with Martin. Oh, Lord! That's laissez-passer flipping into the infield.
It's pretty energetic for something.
Andy Foster also off the track.
Holy sheep dip.
And we've lost Vic Vega from the race. It's a big deal.
That's a lot of action.
No, race leader Javier Vega spins off.
Go, Mauricio! Go!
Mauricio to the front.
Go, baby! Hammer down. Let's get it.
Oh, my Lord. It's a mess right now. We got Delgado leading from Castro. Oh, no, that is Martin Edmonds. Also off the track is Jeremy Reeder. He's having some bad luck. Simmons is off again. No. So much carnage.
Oh, no. Black flag. The race is over. Mauricio wins.
Be a red flag, actually.
Whatever. Chartreuse flag.
That's Max Simmons rejoining and getting overtaken by Andy Foster.
Australian for beer. Oh, boy.
Oh, no! That's Mauricio!
No!
2 liters is spun out of the lead.
Yellow spin submarine. Abort. Restart.
Henrik Andreasen is the 3rd leader of this race. Will he hold it?
You got Pearl Harbor. Oh, no. Oh, boy.
That is Rupoff. Dennis Johnson up in 2nd place as he is battling with Magic Kashuk side by side there. Right behind them, that is Leandro Carroll in the blue car. That is Rupp rejoining.
Mauricio. Oh, boy.
Oh, Lord, Leandro Carroll off!
What is happening?
The carnage. The insanity.
Listen, these are just cars right off the shelf. Nothing special. What's wrong with you people? You're all supposed to be expert drivers. Beyond compare. Those that were too good to be on Knight Rider in the 80s.
Andreasen's getting a little bit of a lead out there. Ahead of Johnson and Kazchuk. Rounding off the top 10, we have Barrier, Thierolf, Costa, Nick, Sparks, Komorowski, and Davidson. By the way, Komorowski, again, he's up 8 places, leading the way in that regard. Javier Vegas dropped 17 spots from pole to 18th place. Kevin Schmidtke also off to a good start. He's up to 18th.
Hell yeah. Schmidtke gonna travel.
Serge Hendricks and Steve Davidson battling over that 10th place at the moment. There they are. Sword car for Hendricks as he moves on past. Davidson in the STR. Is that the side sponsor there? I'm not sure.
Racy boy of the race, Scott Nick, for being not a person who went off the track.
He's up in 7th.
Well done. That's at least 17 spots.
It's 4.
Yeah, give or take. I'm going with like a cosmic, bigger picture look at it.
I see. We did lose someone between the races because we're down to 23 cars. Or we just had 2 retirements. This is the other option. Just trying to work out who might be missing. I think it's Ken Scott who is missing from the proceedings.
Andy Foster has been penalized for going too fucking fast.
Fasta. It's Australian for Fasta.
Don't do that.
There's Bertrand Barrier. He's found his way up into 4th place. He's a danger man. Always very quick and always very on the edge. Which, to be honest, it's surprising that he's one of the guys we have not seen go off the track. Because that's kind of his thing. Always pushing the limits.
Maggle, you might need to call the police on being stalked.
Oh?
There's a beast over to my right. And he is squatted down and I can see his butt wiggling.
Is it Goose?
Maybe buffeted by the Goose. The Goose has put on some fucking size in the last week and a half, my friend.
There you go. That's what happens when you feed him.
Yeah, your boy has filled out and has got some arms on him now.
Your boy has graduated from atom weight to like flyweight.
Something. Although he does fly if I have to throw him though. Like, I have told you 4 times now. You are now getting a ride.
Told you that's how I dealt with my the last cat my mom had. Jackson tried to get out of the house. It's like, here, Jackson, here. You'd be thrown like a football. Whoa! No, out the door I go.
I have to keep him out of my adult beverages. He really wants to know what's in. Like, I could just have a glass of water. Like, what's this, dunk? Motherfucker. And then he's upset because it's ice water. Like, I told
I'm
you.
upset. It's cold.
I told you 9,000 times, and you've only been here a month.
Tobias Thierol, by the way, up into 5th place. So, I mean, talking about danger men who might come through this field to pick up the win. Obviously, the race 1 winner is a candidate as Jeff Rupp rejoins the festivities once again.
When was Family Day? What day is Family Day?
Oh, I don't even know. It was in February, right?
I think so. That was the day I adopted the Gosling.
The Gosling.
TM.
We could probably look through my Discord and see where the girls started to react, like, you know, in typical female fashion to the fact that you had a kitty.
I think that was actually after. That was probably like a week or so after.
Gotcha.
But I could be wrong.
Bertrand Barrier looking to get up onto the podium, trying to get past Magic Kazchuk, and probably more than anything else, actually, he would love to get Kazchuk in between him and Tobias Thierol and Antonio Costa, who are, you know, podium finishers from race 1 coming through the field.
February 19th.
There you go. Proud cat owner.
Oh, actually, this year's February 20th. It must be like the first Monday in.
Yeah, it's probably something.
So yeah, got him on February 20th.
Side-by-side action between Kazchuk and Barrier. Nice defensive move there by Kazchuk, but I think, my friend, you are going to get held out to dry, and you are through the carousel, because that is going to be 3rd place for the Frenchman, Bertrand Barrier. Scott Nick update, still in 7th place.
Hell yeah.
In fact, that's him, I think, back there in the gold car. Tobias. Looking to get into the top 4.
Is this the Tobiasi Maru?
Actually, I got called in to do some a little bit of commentary for an endurance race, and actually ran into an old ESR member, Yadong Turkshin.
Wow.
Who I only remember because, let's be honest, his first name is Yadong.
Correct.
That's an unfortunate Asian name that does exist. We know this because of Yadong Song in the UFC.
Correct. And if you too would like to sing Yadong Song, holla at your boy.
Contact between Komorowski and Davidson and Hendricks. And Hendricks shaking back a little bit as a result. Tobias Thierol up the inside of Magic Kazchuk, but Kazchuk might hold this as they head down to China Beach. Antonio Costa looking at them very interestedly. And it is... Oh, it's going to turn into the inside line for turn 4, though.
Get him.
Still hanging on. Nope.
Oh, boy.
Contact, and that is Kazchuk in the wall. I'd have to put that on Kazchuk, though, probably. Did not look like we had any real movement from Thierol. By the way, also off the track, Serge Hendricks and Jeremy Reeder, who has contacted the wall and elected to retire the car. We are down to 21 still running. There's Hendricks rejoining the festivities. He's had a rough time in that sword car. No, Martin! Martin, no!
Oh, I thought he was going to T-bone.
Oh. Back on the track. Martin Edmonds flying backwards. This has not exactly been the cleanest of races. We'll just say that. I haven't seen anybody behaving particularly poorly, but there have been a lot of cars off the track. That is not laissez-passer that we're looking at. That, I think, is Antonio Costa. But it is claimed that we're looking at... There's passing. He's up behind Steve Davidson, Mauricio Delgado, and Leandro Carroll. Carroll and Delgado have recovered to get back into the top 10, so good for them.
Hell yeah.
After they had some problems early.
Get him,
Passe, another example of a guy who's had some problems, is up to 12th place.
Put him in the wall, Mauricio. You can then grind him up and use them for sausage for your next charcuterie board.
Mauricio, of course, a regular in the recipe room experience.
No, actually. Not at all.
No, not at all.
I don't know if he's ever seen it or commented on it.
I thought he was.
Nope. He posts that shit wherever the fuck he wants.
Oh, that's why I'm thinking.
It's like, sorry guys, can't race. Post picture of glasses of frosty beer, plates of sausage and cheese, occasional wine.
Gotcha. That's why I'm thinking he's the regular in the recipe room experience.
Mauricio is a law unto himself.
He cannot be contained to one channel.
Can't be contained at all. Sorry guys, I'm vacationing in insert things with charcuterie. I heard they had like wine soaked meat.
Laissez-passer trying to make a move, but couldn't control the car there. I don't think that's going to end up coming off as we pick up Antonio Costas. He continues to follow in the tracks of Tobias Thierolf. They are in 4th and 5th place behind Andreasen, Johnson, and Barrier. Scott Nick in 6th place, by the way. And you know who else is having a really solid run? Jeb Sparks, 7th place.
Carlo Park, Bubba Sparks.
In fact, a lot of them, we got, 4 American cars in the top 10? That's pretty impressive. Magic Kazchuk off the track. Not sure what happened there. He'll tumble down the order. And, in fact, he retires the car, so we're down to 20 cars remaining. Jeff Rupp bringing up the back. Henrik Andreasen in the lead. Also, because since I cannot race, I have actually, well, it's still right beside me, but my sim rig is going to be used by my dad for an endurance race, so get ready for that.
Do you have plenty of stimulants for him?
Well, my buddies who I usually endurance race with needed a third. I'm like, I can ask around, and my dad's like, sure. I'm like, oh my god, this is the oldest team that is ever going to be. He is the youngest member of the team. Because I have been the youngest member of this 3-man endurance team for a long time, because Noel's in his 60s and Eric is 71. Oh boy.
So. The Blitzball games and tournaments I've been watching with the John Boy Media, one of them, Dan Canobio, who apparently is the oldest person in the office, but dude does not look more than like late 20s, so I don't know what the deal is.
Okay.
I have no idea what his real age is. I
mean, oldest man. Oh Lord, laissez-passer in the wall, and that is a messed up Mazda.
Ride him, cowboy.
But I was gonna say, oldest man in the office doesn't necessarily mean much. You know,
yeah.
It depends on the office's age.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I remember,
looks pretty young in the office. So
I mean, I remember one of the placements I had. I was the old man in the office, and I was 31. Just what happens. Everyone else was in their 20s.
So they did this tournament, and then you get to like elect your teammate for the playoffs. And John Boy himself, Jimmy O'Brien, selected Dan Canobio to play with him. and everybody immediately just started chanting "old, old, 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 old," and which devolved into like Team Old. Because I think Jimmy might. I don't know where he ranks on elder statesman, but I mean he's the boss. So
Martin Edmonds overtaking Taka for 14th position.
you just generally associate the boss with being older than people.
You would generally think so, but it's not always the case.
It is always the case, Michael. Every single time, without question.
It is not.
Oh, fair enough. Carry on. But I enjoyed the fact that Old Man Canovio was chanted as old.
Mm-hmm. Scott Nick leading a little bit of a train here. He's got Jeb Sparks and Adam Komorowski on his tail for second best of the Americans, essentially. Dennis Johnson holding the that honor at the moment in second place. We have surpassed the halfway point of the race.
And then?
Well, then we've got a bunch more races to go. Oh, by the way, Laissez Passer has pulled the plug, and we're down to 19.
I don't really blame him. That looked like
yeah, that did not look good. Yeah, that did not look like a car that was going to be safe or terribly fun to drive.
That man took a shit kicking. Not to put too fine a point on it.
Bertrand Barrier catching up to Dennis Johnson. He would like to have a run at second place. Surprised they've actually put a second and a half on Tobias Thurolf, so they've got a little bit of a cushion. Before the Germans get here.
Jawohl. The Germans, they move very quickly.
I appreciate that that is Passe's car still in the pit, so he has not left the server. He's just parked the car.
I would like to say for the record that in the Super Mega Baseball 3 stream on Friday, after Tobias had hit his third home run of one particular series.
He hit 2 in the championship series and had to hit 0 before that.
Fair enough. He had his second one, and he had been hitting very well throughout that particular series. To steal my MVP, thank you. I made a comment that it was Batskrieg, and no one laughed. And fuck you people, I hate you all.
Barrier moving into second place ahead of Dennis Johnson. I mean, Thurolf just was the MVP of that game. He was not the overall MVP. As Scott Nick, no, Scott!
Scotch?
No offense, Jeff Rupp. I don't know why we're looking at you.
I would having a rough time out there.
Prefer to watch the recovery of Scott Nick or the various battles going on track. I'm just saying.
There's no need to be so rough on him.
Scott Nick drops out of the top 10 down to 12th place. Unfortunate.
If you keep being mean to Jeff, he might erupt.
I appreciate Jeff.
Leaders
are coming up to lap Andy Foster, whose car looks a little beat up, which would explain why he's so off the pace. Who was the MVP even? I think it was Campbell got the MVP.
No, it was Tobias.
It was not Tobias, no.
He's the one being thrown in the air.
That was just for the game.
Not the game.
He had a 2 home run game in the deciding game.
That's the game all. That I.
His playoffs prior to that was he came into the championship series hitting 230.
Well, I mean that's 230% better than.
That's not. It's not good. That's not. For those of you not familiar with baseball, hitting 230 is not good. Steve Davidson trying to get 9th place here off of Mauricio Delgado, and he's got Serge Hendricks in behind him in the sword car. Tobias had a really solid championship series, but aside from that, it was not amazing. That is Andy Foster getting out of the way. Pretty sure it was Campbell, because Campbell had a ridiculous postseason, just straight up phenomenal numbers.
Only gave up 72 home runs per game.
No, he only gave up I think like 1 or 2. The big home run give-upper was Augie Schultz.
Lies. Lies and slander.
Javier Vega off the track.
I believe it was Victor Sempervides.
Don't think Vic had that one absolutely terrible game where he gave up 6 runs in 2 innings, but aside from that, he was good.
That was rough.
Yeah, he had the single worst start of any pitcher in the postseason with the the end of the second inning is coming. You are getting the hell out of here. The pitching was generally quite good through the second ever Gronk's championship, though.
After you tried to cut Augustus Schultz 17 times.
I mean, I'm still gonna cut him.
Wow. After he became your best pitcher.
No, Campbell was the best pitcher.
That horrible, terrible.
Why must you always discredit Campbell even when he is doing good?
Because he gives up so many home runs. He was like one of the sole reasons, up until you signed Augustus Schultz, that we had a negative run differential for 80% of the season.
It wasn't just him. Terrence Philly was also having a real rough time.
You're just trying to do revisionist history.
No, the starting pitching was just and John Steele, who was cut for Augie Schultz because
correct.
He had no accuracy.
Did Steele give up less runs than Augustus Schultz?
He did, actually.
That's what I thought. He was just so unpredictable.
Yeah, no, that was my frustration with signing Schultz. I'm like, I can do things with Schultz, maybe get a couple of upgrades and make him a decent pitcher.
And you did.
It was never happening with John Steele. It was never happening with John Steele. But John Steele at least had that funness of like, I don't even know where this ball is going.
We're gonna throw a curveball. Okay, that was a fastball.
No. When he threw a curveball, it was a curveball. It's just even his fastball, it's like, I'm going high in with the heater. Why did that just go low and outside? Steele got signed by another team. Actually, we never ran into him, unfortunately.
It was a steal of a deal.
It was one of those. It was one of the bad teams that was just like dumping payroll for the for development funds. So they picked him up because he wanted like $500,000 million.
Me too.
You do not want $1.5 million.
Well, being on top of everything else.
You're making 6.9 now, and you're probably going to be in double over 10 mil on your next contract.
Ha-cha-cha.
You too can get in on the Super Mega Baseball action. Just saying.
How many have I ever declared for free agency?
No, actually, your player has been remarkably loyal to my various franchises.
These hoes ain't loyal.
Steve is the most unloyal player who's declared free agency 3 times. All right, we're coming down to the end here. 6 minutes to go. Still in the lead, Henrik Andreasen, but he's only 1.3 seconds ahead of this battle between Bertrand Barrier and Dennis Johnson. Tobias Theorolf is there. Antonio Costa has not stayed with them. That is surprising. Jeb Sparks, still 6th place. Adam Komorowski, still 7th. Leandro Carroll, Mauricio Delgado, Steve Davidson, your top 10. Then it's Scott Nick, Serge Hendricks, Martin Edmonds, Javier Vega, Taka Maruka, Max Simmons, Kevin Schmidt-Key, Andy Foster, and Jeff Rupp still running. We've lost Passe, Kaschuk, Reeder, Vega, and Scott.
The Johnson. Will the Johnson be swinging a big stick for the Gronks?
He is a subscriber to the Twitch.
Indeed. But I mean, if you're mean to him while commentary, he may become a spy for another team.
He may. Also trying to get Cody from Mech Warrior to come join. That's
Gross.
become Brock. It's become Brock and Gabe's mission.
He's a loose
they're kinda-
cannon. Oh
He's
my
loose
god.
Oh my
Talk
lord!
about loose cannons.
Adam Komorowski and Jeb Sparks go off. Leandro Carroll says, "Thanks, guys. I'll just move into 6th place."
Yoink.
Ooh, Sparks does not recover well. He's still got dirty tires, and that might cost him a top 10. He rejoins in 10th place ahead of Scott Nick, but yeah, Nick will overtake him as well as Serge Hendricks. Oh my lord, still a lot of action going on here. That's Andy Foster in the middle of that whole thing, trying to get out of the way, being like, "Please don't kill me." Komorowski with a slowdown penalty for track limit of use. He is the second car in the line there behind Mauricio Delgado. Meanwhile, battle for second place still going on here. Barrier on the tail of Johnson, who has Thierolf on his tail. And Johnson getting a little bit rough there. Another slowdown penalty for Adam Komorowski. I feel like a liar moment might actually be applicable right now.
Stop breaking the law, asshole.
Exactly.
You're scared of the claw.
Fletcher, he needs legal advice. Stop breaking the law. Tobias going down the inside, but can't quite get there at the top for the moment. Less than 3 minutes to go, so we're looking at probably 3 laps around this short layout of Mid-Ohio. There's a slowly moving Jeff Rupp.
Rip.
Thierolf getting kind of wiggly. We're not used to seeing Thierolf be anything but a plainted measure of consistency guy. But getting a little bit rough there in 4th place. Andreasen still with the lead from Johnson, Barrier, and Thierolf. Costin 5th, then it is Carroll, Delgado, Komorowski, Davidson, and Hendricks rounding off the top 10. Scott Nick down in 11th place. Jeb Sparks, Javier Vega, Martin Edmonds. Then it is Max Simmons, Taka Mariuka, Kevin Schmidt-Key, Andy Foster, and this man, Jeff Rupp, who is still out there soldiering on, and I tip my hat to him.
Do you?
I do.
Excellent.
I appreciate the stick-to-itiveness and fortitude to get him to the end of this race.
What about his gumption?
Gumption also works.
Somebody needs to come up. You still get. I thought there was going to be a little contact.
Komorowski trying to find a way through, but Steve Davidson might be the guy to jump him here. The GTR car. Or Serge Hendricks.
Yellow.
Mauricio Delgado still hanging on to the front of this group. And it's going to be Hendricks overtaking Davidson. That is for 9th place for the Dutchman. No! Tobias with a spin out of the carousel. That may have cost him a podium. He's still off the track. And he loses out to Costa now as well. Aha! All right, he's got a lap left to try and fix that, though. But Thierolf dropping down to 5th place. I feel like the camera's going to be on this for a while. Scott Nick in this group as well, as Jeb Sparks there at the back there. And just in shot is Javier Vega, who, if you remember, was the pole sitter for this race.
What if I told you? Mauricio Delgado.
I would say that's a very wise and enthusiastic statement.
Correct. I mean, the boy was in first place, went all the way down to like 97th place, came all the way back up to currently 7th place. Probably eating wine-soaked salami and sipping on Carlsbad.
Javier Vega having a moment there.
Maybe a few olives here and there.
Oh, Komorowski wants to get past the Delgado, though.
Nope.
He's heard about this
Nope.
charcuterie board.
Nope.
By the way, I think Henrik Andreasen is officially your winner now.
Probably.
Indeed they are. That's checker flag up ahead. So Andreasen, Johnson, Barrier, Costa, Thierolf, Carroll, Delgado comes across the line in 7th place. Did Hendricks get past Komorowski there? He did. Serge Hendricks at the line.
He surged
picks up
past
8th place. Yeah. Over Adam Komorowski, rounding off the top 10, Steve Davidson, then Scott Nick, Jeb Sparks, Javier Vega, Martin Edmonds, Max Simmons, Taka Mariuka, Kevin Schmidtke. Across the line here. And the lapped cars of Andy Foster and Jeff Rupp round off the field. There are your final results. Let's have a look at the championship here, shall we? So with these results today, your championship leader remains Tobias Thierolf. He has 171 points, 133 for Antonio Costa. He's in 2nd place. 3rd place, Leandro Carroll on 126. Then it's Passe on 113 and 108 for Bertrand Barrier. Top 10 is rounded off by Henrik Andreasen, Andrew D, Dennis Johnson, Martin Edmonds, and quietly, Serge Hendricks put together a top 10 season despite having only 2 top 10 race finishes. 4th place in the 2nd race at Watkins Glen, and 8th place here today at Mid-Ohio. So that's interesting. Team's championship with 253 points. It is the Enchanted Grasshoppers, Tobias Thierolf and Dennis Johnson, who lead the way. 202 for the Ancient Beluga Whales. That's Serge Hendricks and Antonio Costa. And 181 for the Classic Manatees. That is Leandro Carroll and Steve Davidson. Rounding off the top 10, we have Bertrand Barrier, who does not appear to have a teammate. Les Requins Invisibles. The Heavenly Punks, Andrew D. and Zuvimir Burek, are in 5th place. Followed by the Bold Dingoes, which I feel like is your team, Byron.
Crikey.
Luis Alves and Henrik Andreasen. Then it is the Lucky Ostriches. That's Kaz Chuck and Oscar Tan. The Maple Bulls, Raul Valoria and Martin Edmonds. The Naughty Pumas, Vic Vega and Lyndon Bigeman. And the Earnest Baboons, who did not have anyone in action today, actually. That's James Butler and Rene. So there you go. Actually, your team is probably the Fabulous Yetis. That is
Correct.
probably the answer. That is Max Simmons and Sean Zulu.
Got all that long arm hair braided down into like tassels and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Handsome Boomerangs also saw one, as well as the Dapper Swans. So that's interesting. I feel like Passe may have been a teammate with Barry at one point, and he has defected to form his own team because his team has 0 points, despite the fact that we know that Laissez Passe has many points because he is in 4th place in the championship with 113 points. Just saying. So, Byron, do you have anything else to say?
A tisket, a tasket. Let me put my biscuit in your basket.